Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of In the Gallery with Laura Lee. I'm your host, Laura Lee, and today we are going to talk about this horrific story of the murder of JD, baby JD. His formal name was Romeo Angeles or Angeles, but he was also known as Jackson Drew Williams. So let me just swap over here so we can see the baby. This murderous woman, she killed the baby due to jealousy. Okay, so let's get into this story. This is what she texts her friend. She texts her friend this. I hate him. They call her a beauty queen. I think that's a push. I understand she did win a beauty pageant. I wouldn't call her a queen. Okay, or beautiful, honestly. I think she won a beauty pageant. That's the extent of it. But it's sensationalized. They're going to call it the beauty queen trial, whatever. Her name is Trinity Poague, and she was stripped of her title anyway. So she really isn't a beauty queen. But she wrote, I hate him. Trinity beat her boyfriend's toddler son to death in her dorm room in college because she resented him and wanted a child of her own. That's what the prosecution says. So let's get into this story. Prosecutors in Georgia say then 18-year-old beauty queen Trinity Poague beat her boyfriend's toddler son to death because she resented the boy and wanted a family of her own. The trial of now 20-year-old Trinity Poague kicked off on Tuesday in the Peachtree State with opening statements about the death of 18-year-old Romeo Angeles, who was also known as Jackson Drew Williams or JD. Poague is charged with murder, aggravated battery, and child cruelty. Prosecutors allege the defendant, then 18, beat the child to death on January 2024 at her dorm room at Georgia Southwestern State University. That is a mouthful. Where she was a student. JD was in good health when his father, Julian Williams, then 23, went to Walmart and picked up pizza around that afternoon. But as he was driving back to the dorm, Poague texted him saying JD wasn't breathing. Williams rushed back inside to find the boy unresponsive. He grabbed his son and drove him to the emergency room. Doctors wanted to fly him to Children's Hospital in Atlanta, but they were never able to stabilize him and pronounced him dead. Could you imagine? Could you imagine you leave your child with this woman that you're dating? You go to the store, you go to Walmart, or you go get pizza or whatever, and you come back and she texts you the child's not breathing. You come back and the child's beat up. Clearly beat up, because let's get into it. Prosecutors Lamb Lewis told jurors JD suffered catastrophic injuries, including bruises on the head, fractured skull, and a lacerated liver. Key to the case is when and how the boy suffered these injuries. Lamb says the brain bleed shows that JD had been hit in the head within hours of being taken to the hospital. Videos of the boy showed he was fine when his father left for Walmart and for the pizza. So he was totally fine right before he went to run these errands. And then when he comes back, or as he's running these errands, that's when he gets this message from her. Poague was the sole person with JD during this time. Another key facet prosecutors are trying to emphasize to jurors is Poague's apparent dislike of JD. I'm sorry. You have to be a really sick person to dislike a baby. Like, just why would you dislike a baby? Like, just off the rip, you don't like the baby? Why? Because the baby is a representation of what you don't have with him and he has it with someone else? Okay, so then date someone else that doesn't have kids. Why are you choosing to date someone with kids if you don't like kids, if you don't like anyone else's kids? I personally don't think she would like any kid, honestly, because if she has this much level of jealousy in her, to be upset that he is taking care of his son and you feel like that's an issue between you two, I don't see you really liking any kid, because any good father is going to put their kids first. They will. Okay? So you're just another person. My kids are my kids. They're literally my kids. So they come first. They come before you. So she was jealous of the baby. Okay? A 1-year-old baby, sick. But she texts her roommate this: I can't stand being around JD anymore. He hates me and I hate him. The baby doesn't have any hate in its heart. It's a baby. You're sick. That is sick. She was jealous that Williams paid more attention to her son than her. Trinity Poague resented this child. That's what the prosecution said. And I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. She did not want to be a stepmother with JD. She wanted to have a child or children with Julian, but she did not want that child. So her attorney was trying to say the baby fell and, you know, it wasn't anything that they did, but the baby had fallen accidentally, I think on the previous night, and that's where the injuries came from. Don't believe any of it, okay? I don't believe a single bit of it. And she was found guilty. Just spoiler alert. I have it queued up here for you guys so we can just quickly watch the verdict.
The verdict reads as follows as to each count. On count 1, it says, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. On counts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of felony murder, 2 counts.
Did you see that look on her face? It was like she looked up like, and you saw the devil in her in that moment.
Aggravated battery, 2 counts, and cruelty to child in the 1st degree. Y'all can have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a tough week for you, I'm sure, and I know that you probably had a lot of places you would have rather been this week than here. I do want to thank you.
Look, I just want to go back to this. Like, I almost want to slow it down, because you see I'm not even joking. You see the devil in her. You do.
Counts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
And you see the way she looks up. It's like she thought
felony murder, 2 counts, aggravated
she
battery,
got excited
2
with
counts,
that
and cruelty
first
to child,
bit,
1st degree.
hearing, not guilty.
As to each count, on count 1, it says, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty. On counts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
You see how fake that was? Like and she stopped that immediately. Once he kept reading counts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, her face dead serious. It's just disgusting. Let's just see her sentencing. I am pleased with the sentencing. Please. So she got found not guilty of. Let me just pause really quick. She got found not guilty of the malice murder, but I think he ended up vacating some of the other charges and just and sentenced her on. Am I thinking of another case? I hope I'm not. I think sentenced her on the felony murder.
Do a lot of speaking when I'm passing the sentence. I've heard the case and I've considered the tragedy on the left side, on my left side, and on the right side.
I love when they sentence immediately, though, also.
And there's a lot of tragedy to go around here. the whole time that I'm hearing a case, I think about what the appropriate sentence would be. And this conduct all led, in my opinion, to the offense of felony murder, even the charge that, would have merged with count 3, but does not because count 3 is vacated by count 2. That's a lot of technical.
Okay, so count 3 was vacated by count 2. Okay, because I guess, okay, that's what happened.
But the bottom line is you're going to receive a sentence of life in prison, which is the appropriate sentence for the conduct that you have been convicted of. And that is going to essentially be the sentence that the court passes in this case. You will be sent on, so on count 2, I sentenced the defendant to serve life in prison. And on count 6, I sentenced the defendant to serve 20 years in the state penitentiary. Those